housekeeping this morning too. And then, oh, we're being live streamed already.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's always the gremlin pairs.
Anyway, and then that bar that goes along the bottom, I've got it set to go away when I'm not using, but it keeps coming up. And of course, all the Zoom commands are there because Zoom for some reason isn't coming in full screen anymore. It's just that little. So you click on one thing and the Zoom screen disappears, and I'm like, come on. I just want to get on camera if you don't mind, please.
Hey, we're already here right now, and that's okay. It's all good, Shannon. It's good to see you as always. I mean, I'll do the formal in a moment. Of course, you guys know we're coming here live, hot and heavy already with a Syndicate Talk, Season 4, Episode 4. I'm doing some of the button pushing. We'll have the formal, hey, what's up here in a second. But while I finish this up, we'll shake out the gremlins and get ourselves working.
You're always in charge of the button pushing.
Always in charge of the button pushing. It saves time. Saves time. Nope. One moment. Thank you, corrective text. That's exactly what that word should have been. The technology, right?
Right.
Technology on a Friday afternoon. We got a great combination going right now.
Yeah. It's like that meme. I am never ducking.
Never.
It is never supposed to be ducking.
Not what I mean. Not what I mean. Not what I said. Not what I mean and not what I said. There we go. That one's up. We are live. We are good. I can get that. I can get that. I can copy. I can do the thing. And the thing. Bam. Now we are done. All right, there we go. Now that we're into it here and we are shooting it, I am Mitch Kamich. This is a Syndicate Talks, Season 4, Episode 4, coming in hot and heavy in the first quarter of 2022. So in the coming days, weeks, months, and years, you get a chance to see this. Know that this is a Syndicate Talks that comes from Syndicate, a tribe, a collection of business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators that want to come together, share resources, leverage each other, and become more because of it. Why is that really important? Because a Syndicate Talks, the podcast, the video series, whatever it is you're watching right now, is in Season 4 because it started because of the members. We began Season 1 of Syndicate Talks at the very beginning of the global pandemic. Why? Our members had stories to tell. They had information because they are experts in their own field. And it created an environment where, from Syndicate perspective, we wanted to give away business education for free. And so we started to showcase our members and let them talk about the stuff that they're really good at. And now we are 2 years later and we're in Season 4. We didn't see that coming. Well, here we are. We got more hours in the day of a Syndicate Talks episodes than there are hours in the day. So I can't wait until we get onto one of the great digital platforms like Amazon Prime here, which we're hoping for very, very soon, because you can spend an entire day just watching us and the people inside of Syndicate talk about business. How much better to get smarter at business than being able to listen to people that are passionate what they do. So today I'm bringing to you live, hot and heavy, my girl, Shannon Berry, Madwomen VA service. She is the queen of this. And of course, Shannon and I have known each other for a solid 2 years now. And Shannon, as always, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on Season 4 of Syndicate Talks. Give them the little tiny snapshot, the thumbnail, hey, this is who I am, what I do. You know what we got, the elevator pitch, the tiny little blip. And then we're going to dive in and talk about you in the business.
Okay, yeah. Well, like Mitch said, I'm Shannon Berry. I own and operate with a partner, my daughter, Madwomen VA. We provide marketing, advertising support, as well as administrative support. Everything is delivered digitally through these great means here. We can work anywhere in the world as long as we know the language.
Fantastic. So we're going to dive right in. Again, this conversation is going to be as long or as short as we want it to be, but it's always going to cover some major stuff. You're running Madwomen VA. You've had marketing, you've had talent, you've done events and et cetera in the past. Madwomen VA, what is that? It's got a cool ass name. I know what it means, but nobody else does. So let's film a little bit on that story, more importantly, and what Madwomen VA does. But let's keep in mind context. Here's my business as a service, but here's the thing it does and how it helps people out. things that people need to be mindful of. So Madwomen VA, cool ass name. Let's talk about that. And then let's fill a bit of what we actually do.
Okay, well, obviously, anybody who's into any kind of binging will recognize that Madwomen is a take on the Mad Men perspective. If you've ever watched the show, they were a marketing and advertising agency back in the 1960s. Fictional, but nonetheless. So we're based on that. We provide, our main focus is supporting businesses and trying to offer digestible bits. We understand and recognize that budgets are a little smaller than they once were. So coming into an agency, because I used to own and operate a marketing agency, but it was like $1,500 a month just to get started. And a lot of businesses don't have that anymore. So now we've taken everything that we do, we've broken them down into the necessary bits, I guess you could say. So instead of social media as a general thing, it's the different components of social media so that you can order exactly what you need so that we can help support your brand, your business, help you grow and scale your business without it taking, you know, thousands of dollars out of your bank account to get there.
One moment for a sip of the nectar of the gods. And now
coffee.
we will, now coffee, right? And we'll talk about that. That's a really important distinction. Everything that shifted in the pandemic, we started to create fractional jobs, fractional businesses, fractional lives. Things started to scatter apart. Businesses don't necessarily have the luxury of the same cost anymore. So VA service starts to take that on. What is the full spread of those kinds of services people are looking at? And what makes better sense? Because the idea of fractional is not new, yet fractional is really coming home now in a faster paced world because of what happened.
Well, that's just it. It pushed a lot of stuff, you know, into the digital spheres, and we've had to find new ways of delivering services and that. So overhead costs, you know, we're not looking at the same kind of overhead costs. We're looking at different styles and mediums of delivery. The reason that I'm in marketing and advertising is because I was originally in marketing and promotions. Like you said, I used to be an event planner and producer, where we worked with brands, promoting brands through those in-person, you know, big fun style events, liquor, entertainers, all of that kind of thing. Then all of a sudden we couldn't do that anymore. We couldn't gather in spaces, and we couldn't have those big events and all those people in the room. So what do we do now? And it literally it shut down about 2/3 of my business. But then I thought, you know what? I know how to market. You can't be an event producer. You can't be an event, you know, you can't do those sorts of things. If you don't know how to market what you're doing, and you don't know how to create that brand and solidify that message and get people interested, you can't fill a room. So we took everything that we knew in those realms and started applying it through this digital means, where now you don't have to hire somebody in-house, which saves you your taxes, it saves you your benefits, it's all those things, because I cover all that for myself. And being able to look at your plan and actually go, what exactly do I need? I don't need you to do all of my social media. I don't need you to do I don't need to have a graphic designer on, because we've only got certain number of projects where we need that kind of service per year. So now you can order exactly, you know, you can take on exactly what you need based on the budget that you have, and still get good quality services that are going to align with your brand.
Now, when you're talking about this, it's really important, a distinction too, for the kind of service that you provide, but the level. Because with a fractional world and with fractional business, there's an awful lot of other stuff out there. There's Upworks and Fiverr, and you know, and again, we can leverage all that for our own businesses as well. But sometimes people want that personalized touch. So, what's a differentiator for Madwomen VA? What really sets Pacer Bar apart? Because otherwise, I'm just kind of throwing my money at the internet, right? Just take the cash and kind of throw it at the screen and go, I hope it works out.
You hope it sticks, right? Like that spaghetti when you're testing it in the kitchen. Yeah. If you're one of those people who does that, I hear if you throw it at the wall or something, if it sticks, it's supposed to be done. I don't know. I hate cooking. So anyway, the differentiation is that we know the markets that we're in. We do create relationships. You might not have like a yearly contract. You might come in every once in a while, on a monthly basis or every second month or whatever, but we get to know you, you get to know us. So, and like I said, yeah, so we have a more personal thing. And because we're in North America, because, you know, we've been in the North American business realms for so long, we know the marketplace. We have connections, we have the knowledge, we have the language, we have all of those things, and you know exactly what you're getting. And we have a screening process, a vetting process, so that before you even put money into the system, we know if we're a good fit for each other, right?
Okay.
You're not ordering something for $10, and I get it's only $10 to you, but if you have to hire 6 different people through Fiverr at $10 a pop to see which one's going to make, it's still costing you $60. So why not just hire somebody who knows how to do it for, you know, you might spend a couple of extra dollars, but it's going to be out of the gate. You're going to get what you're looking for, and somebody who knows how to actually address your issues in your marketplace.
Fantastic. What's one of the big challenges that you're seeing right now, and what's one of the big asks people are making?
The big challenges, let me see. There's so many of them right now. The biggest, you know, like some of the biggest things are the budgets. A lot of people went into business not because they expected to or because it was part of the plan, but because that's all they had left. So they're struggling because they don't know what it means to be an entrepreneur. They don't know, you know, but they also have, they're building their business off of their savings account, you know, whatever they had left.
Okay.
And so they're trying to learn the expertise, and they're trying to learn the skills, and trying to learn all the things that they need to do to grow their business. But there's a small pool from which they can draw.
Okay.
Right. So we're helping to address those issues, because not only are we, like I said, being able to really focus in on exactly what you need based on what your budget has, but because we're in the North American space, we can also help connect you to people who have other resources, or who have advice or insights or whatever like that might be able to give you a hand with those things that you what's that old saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Interesting you bring that up, because my next query to you is, how far down a rabbit hole of different paths, if we think of an average entrepreneur, business owner, and primarily that would cater towards, let's say, smaller boutique-based agencies, and that doesn't say that medium or smart or medium or large class businesses can't use VA services. There may very well be great fractional business services that they can, but if you're going to work with a little business owner, a 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 person business, what does a sweet spot for you, that deliciousness, look like for you, and what do you take up? Like, what do you suck up from them, and what creates multiple services that you're doing? Like, what would that look like for somebody?
Well, through the discussions and that, because don't forget too, we don't just work with small businesses and that. There's a lot of account executives, CEOs, COOs, and that need support. And a lot of companies are now starting to get into the realms of, well, we're not going to hire that executive assistant. So what's the option? Right. Well, you reach out to a VA, and a VA can do your reports and clean up your presentations and all those sorts of things, and deliver everything to you within a time frame, through a digital means. And then you get to take all the hand claps. Right. So with the small businesses and you know, and then the other side, like that corporate side of things, it's the biggest thing right now is standing out, making those impressive moves, you know, and you don't have to do it yourself if you don't know the skills, if you don't know don't have, right? Just creating that brand, solidifying that brand, and being that standout in a very noisy marketplace, right?
Okay.
I hope that answered it. I might have gone off.
It's all good, right? It's context for people. It's now for the audience out there too, while Shannon's talking, you need to remember that with VA services, and like lots of them, have you ever stopped to think what the average executive assistant does for a moment? What the average bookkeeper does in prep, what the average marketing rep does, or what the average salesperson is, or how much correspondence happens. So if you have a 2 salesperson team and a sales manager and a COO in a smaller fabrication place, how much correspondence happens just amongst those 4 roles that may be getting taken up by a regular, quote unquote, that's not to say you want to take employment away from other people, but do you really need a full service executive assistant navigating all of this? Or is this something that can be handled fractionally? Because it might only be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 hours of emails, correspondence, and material to prep every week. That doesn't justify full-time employment, but it justifies having somebody to answer it for you. Instead, that time's being taken away from those salespeople, from that sales manager, from those COOs, when that can be gainful for somebody else. So give me a sense of big and little. We've got the bell curve of life, right? There's not getting paid any most expensive thing you got. What would be the range of services or products? Give me 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 examples and give it to me on a scale. Here's what kind of entry level is for work, and here's where it gets more sophisticated, more complex, or where you're really paying for more hours or more work to be done.
Yeah. Well, actually, so if you're going to go on a product, like a service by service basis, that's going to be a little bit more costly, because then you're purchasing each. What we actually recommend is we prefer when, and it works out better for a client as well, to just buy blocks of time.
Okay.
So we've got 3 different packages where you just buy what you think is going to be enough time for, and then whatever you throw at us, we take care of for you in that, it's in that space of time. If you don't use up all of the time you've purchased, we just put it over until it's all used up. You've paid for it, so you get to use it, right? And yeah, so that way you're not doing the piecemeal thing, and you're not trying to figure out, well, that what you know, can we afford to get that graphic design done this month, or can we afford to get that data entry done, or whatever like that? Well, we've got, 10 hours left on our block of time, so just send it to the VA, and the VA service will take care of it.
Okay. What's one of the biggest challenges you've seen for other people's businesses, or what's a big mess that you've had to walk into to kind of fix? And again, not naming names, right? But there's extremes. There's a really great day, and then there's the, oh shit, it's this.
Actually, the biggest challenge that we've had, that I've had personally, over the course of the last year, I've been working with a capital markets company, a retail capital markets company. And it literally started off, I think there was 3 or 4 of us as employees and the owner. And we've actually built it out to a huge retail outlet now in the capital markets. We've got a full team, but we've built it all from the ground up. So putting in these, what we call the SOPs, or the, standard operating procedures, and building out what that brand looks like and how that's gonna, we started off like at 0. Like I had to create the social media accounts. So literally we started off at 0, in that year on LinkedIn, we're now at 1.1K followers. And Instagram, we just reinstituted Instagram, reactivated it. So it's going slower, but I mean, it's capital markets. So, but I think a lot of what that is a lot of the challenge that came is because you've got basically number nerds in the room, and you've got high pressure, like high functioning, high energy salespeople, and everybody has ideas. And ideas are not necessarily a bad thing, but it can get really difficult when you're trying to do what you think is best from whichever perspective, and everybody else has their ideas, and they think that their ideas are better, that they know more, and they're not doing the testing, and they don't know the terminology, and they're not, a lot of people out there don't understand that in the creative realms, there's never anything that's solidified. There's no such thing as the science is sound. It's a constant journey of testing, creating, testing, rinse, repeat, right? And so that's a lot in those realms. That's where a lot of the challenges come when you're trying to help build that for a company, and those important mundane but very important components can get missed. So we've been through that process now. We've done the rinse and repeat probably 6 times over the course of the last year. We have been stressed out. We have been everything, but it looks like it's going to be a good, it's going to move forward now on a very positive, right? But you've got to get through it. You've got to stick it out. You got to get through it. You can't say, oh, it's been 2 months and this isn't happening, so this isn't worth it. It's not how it works.
Are
So
VAs a vital part of a small business now? Is something
absolutely.
like virtual or fractional employment? Now, bigger businesses have employed fractional CFOs, fractional CTOs, fractional CIOs, fractional COOs. Well, everybody in the C-suite can become a portion of something else. You might not necessarily need them all the time, or keeping that person around if a business is really well structured or if it's got an awful lot of automation. Does that set the table for you becoming a regular part of somebody else's team, but it's only you for 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because here, the thing is too, that, so the pandemic taught us a few things, not just about how we can provide services and how we can interact with each other on alternative measures, but it taught us that there's a lot of expenses that we used to be incurring that we don't need to incur as businesses. And that the traditional structured come to the office business format doesn't work as well as we all thought it used to, right? Especially with this new generation that likes to have their flexibility. So we are absolutely, because not only are we saving you time and getting specifically done what you need done, but we're also helping you create efficiencies for yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? Whether you're the CEO or the business owner, it doesn't matter, because you, even while you're working, even if you're on the golf course, if that's what, your day, all that other work is still getting done and it's already paid for. Like it's already out of the budget. You don't have to worry about it. So yeah, it's absolutely essential. It leaves the business owners and the management teams and that to be able to focus on what they need to be focusing on in order to accomplish or even exceed their goals. That's the hopeful goal, is to exceed them. At the same time, knowing that it's still all getting done and that it fits their budget and that they're going to get those quality and professional services delivered to them. That's going to make sure that their brand, their image, their professional reputation is intact when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, if we take that idea and take it one step further, what should that average entrepreneur, small business owner? I'm going to continue to go back to that because that's fascinating to me. And that's where a lot of my business revolves around. I like them little. Certainly I enjoy the challenge for the bigger businesses, but I like some little for a moment from a business owner perspective. And that fascinates me because there are a lot more of them than anybody else, right? Statistically, in Alberta, there are about 280, 285, 290,000 incorporated businesses. That's not counting all the fly-by-nights or the people that aren't incorporated, the sole proprietors, all that other stuff. So just that alone, 40% of those are businesses employing less than 20 people.
Yep.
80% of them employ less than 40 or 50. So a significantly sized pile of business, 180,000 out of 280,000, 210,000 out of 280,000. You could count on one hand or two hands the number of people the whole business has, which means that is an awful lot of business owners that are trying to replicate an awful lot of the same stuff. What should people expect for the kind of stuff you would do, and how, what cost, what services, how much time? So give me a snapshot, and I paint a picture of the average small business owner going, if I'm going to hire you, like, what shit do I even get you to do? Okay, here's the 2 or 3 or 4 things that we do. Here's how much time and here's what it costs, because that's what's going to make people's decisions, right? But more importantly, it's also going to tell them why they should think about it. You and I both know how many people consistently do their own bookkeeping when it makes better sense to pay somebody $300 a month to do it. Well, that's $300, but it's going to save you 10 or 15 hours a month. How much are you worth, right? If you had that time back, how much better is it for your business to pay somebody $300 to do your books?
No, our smallest time block is 30 hours. And the reason that we started there for the 30 hours is because that seems to be, for the small business owners, kind of like you call it, the sweet spot, right? just just outsourcing 30 hours a month can help increase your rate of return like 100%, because that 30 hours is all the time that you're spending struggling doing something you were never meant to do, right? So bookkeeping, data entry, we have updating CRMs, your management, content management databases and that sort of thing. Of course, you're going to manage your own meetings and all that kind of thing, but you go out to networking events, which we can start doing again now. You come back with a stack of business cards. Do you want to be the one to input all that information and put in the notes for follow-ups? No, you can write a little note on that business card. You give that stack of business cards to your VA, and that VA will put that into your CRM with the notes and reminders, so that they automatically pop up on your phone, so that you can schedule your next day and know who you're following up with, who you need to reach out to, and what new connections you're going to be making that day. Like you said, the updating the bookkeeping and that sort of thing. Like, why are you entering your own bills? Why are you doing all, why are you doing all of this stuff for yourself? That's not making you any money. So, and if you're like me, so my partner is the one who does that side of the data entry, that side of the business, because I hate it. It's so, yeah, it's not my thing to sit in front, but she loves it. It's fine for her. She puts her headphones on and away she goes, right? So many people out there, just nobody likes to do that kind of stuff, but you need to know where your business is. If you're sitting there as a business owner and you don't know what upcoming bills you have, what you've paid out, what's in the bank account, like what those how do you know what resources you have to be able to move forward with your business? You have to know those things. We can put that into your system and generate the reports and send them to you, so that you can have a fresh look every morning and know exactly, as you start every business day, where you're sitting and you don't have to do anything. You can be out with your family doing whatever while we're doing that service for you. So it's crazy what just 30 hours a month, can do. On the social media, like on the creative side, I always go back to social media because it's our #1 creative service. People need help with social media. People have learned that social media is extremely important, but again, it's very noisy. So what do you do to stand out over there on the social media side? So we will build your content. We'll send you a month worth of content, and all you've got to do is put it into your scheduler or whatever, and send it out and help and can build that brand, build your following, especially for e-commerce stores and that sort of thing, because it's essential. If you're going to be selling goods online, you need to have your marketing, you need to have your digital marketing in place. So if you need us to build the content because you're not great at doing design, you get a month of it within the first week of every month into your inbox. If you're not great at posting it, say you're okay doing the design work, but you never know what to say, you don't know what hashtags to use, you don't know what accounts to tag out, whatever, then we'll do that for you. It saves you the time of having to do research and everything that you don't know how to research, and you don't have, again, it saves you the time and the money, and it puts you into a more efficient space in your business. I love efficiency. That's my thing.
Okay. So we're starting to wind down on our chat here today. What's something that you're looking forward to next 6 months, next 12 months, next 2 years? What's going to happen in the world of Madwomen VA? What's going to happen in the world of Shannon Berry? Where's this going to? What are you looking forward to, and what's ideal for you? What's sunshine and roses? Before we get to that, here's how you get a hold of me. What does that look like, Shannon?
The sunshine and roses. Well, we actually already have a couple of inquiries about purchasing a franchise for Madwomen VA. People seem to really like the brand. Go figure. It's a good thing that we're good at that, because that's part of what we advertise. So, but we do have a couple of inquiries for people who want to do it. So we want to get the business built up so that there's actually, we feel confident that we're giving enough to the people that are purchasing those franchises and have enough support for them. So we're working toward putting ourselves into that space, into that position. So hopefully by the goal is by June, we'll be able to start getting all the legal process into place, so that before the end of this year, we'll be selling our first franchise. So yeah, that's the goal.
All right. Now that just opened up a brand new can of worms. VA services are nice little businesses. How does somebody get into a franchise with that or for that with you?
Well, that's it. I know it's a new format, and it's hard to explain because we've got only a few minutes left. But basically what it is a lot of people prefer to work from home, but there's a lot of really talented, creative people out there who know how to do these things. So basically we will help them. So they buy the brand. We open up a new outlet department, whatever you want to say, like location under that franchise in whatever location that they're in. But we will be providing full support. So they get to cash in on already having an established brand. They get to cash in on professional organizations. So for networking and that sort of thing, that's all covered by the franchise, right? We will help them cultivate and grow. We give them training. We're going to have ongoing seminars in that with experts in the marketing realms to help support them. And then they'll have all the tools that they need to start generating business in the regions that they're in and offering the services through the franchise.
Fantastic. All right. How do people get a hold of you? How do they get a hold of Madwomen VA?
Easiest is the website is madwomenva.com, or they can email help@madwomenva.com. Yeah, do it that way, because we do have a phone number. It's on the website, but I hate phones.
It's technology. Use the glowing box and communicate like that. Can I call you? Pick up the glowing box that's usually in your pants pocket and message them. My goodness.
Yes. Yeah. So if you go onto the website, all of the contact information that you need will be on there. You can text us, call us if you would really like to. There's a reason why we're in the digital sphere. We're not good on the telephone, but email and that sort of thing. And also, if you go on to our website, we have a Calendly link on there. So if you would like to have a consultation, you can book a 30-minute time period and just specify which services you're interested in. That way we know which one of us you need to talk to.
Fantastic. Shannon, it is always an absolute privilege and a pleasure. Thank you so much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Syndicate family, this is Shannon Berry, Madwomen VA. This is a Syndicate Talks, Season 4, Episode 4, in the can, in the bag. Follow up with her, reach out. And as always, we started this to give away information, education, and highlight our members. You heard a little bit today that's going to make you understand what VAs are. You heard a little bit today that's going to help you understand how it's going to be helpful. You learned a little bit today that, I'm sorry to say, you can afford it for you and your business if it buys you more time. So think of it like this for one. If you spend $100, $200, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and it buys you back the commensurate amount of time, how many more deals do you close? How much more efficient does your business get? How much more time do you have to focus on your money, etc.? These are parts of the reasons why the fractional world can work so well for businesses of all sizes and scale. But if you're little, get the crap out of the way that's really getting in your way from doing what's in your best interest. Or Shannon said it here too. Maybe it just means you're going to spend one extra day a month on the golf course, which is a little bit of you time. It is therapy with friends, co-conspirators, co-workers, partners, potential clients, vendors, whatever it is, going to make business better. So come back, check out the other 3 episodes in Season 4 right now. check out the other 3 seasons in Syndicate Talks and keep watching because we're supposed to be on one of the major platforms. We're pretty sure it's Amazon Prime, but we're still waiting for them to check boxes, dot I's, cross T's, and do that sort of stuff. And you're going to be able to find our content there. And hey, you want to binge watch Syndicate Talks? You're going to spend an entire day. What series out there has a day worth of content? I don't know, but we do. So there you go. Shannon, on behalf of, as always, the rest of the tribe, thank you so much. And to our audience out there in the coming days, weeks, months, and years, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next episodes. Check out season 1, 2, and 3, and have yourself